Khama might be staying after all, and Dupree hits back at his former coach Steve Barker. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs Khosi Football Club. And in this video, we're going to talk about two players, Khama Billiat and Ashley Dupree, for two different reasons. And wait for later for the Dupree story because I think it's very hilarious. Anyways, let's talk about Khama Billiat. So Uzwane earlier on this season, he told us Uguti Billiat will be out for the rest of the season. And last week we started seeing him doing individual drills, training on his own. And then in yesterday's video the Chiefs published on their social media, it's shown Uguti Billiat is actually back training with the team, which means it's a matter of 2, maybe 3 weeks before he's back with the team. And that means he might play the last 4 or 5 games of the league. What does this actually mean? Well, it means Khama has fought hard to recover and be part of the squad. And the reason for that is this. If you look at the Chiefs, I said this yesterday on the live stream, Uguti, they have spent upwards of 4 million on giving him Simango. They're going to spend some money on him to do some Tanzania. They are going to spend some money on a defensive midfielder. Hopefully they do. And they're just going to spend money on other positions that need to be reinforced. But if you look at our center forward position right now, they signed Usail, who is actually a winger, and they signed Caleb, who has not been doing really well in recent games, and Uduba is not like being thrown into the deep end because, as we understand, Uguti, the coach is trying to protect him, because if he doesn't protect him, then the fate that was waiting for Caleb will be waiting for Tuba as well, because we know if you're playing for Kaizer Chiefs and you don't perform, you end up being just booed by your own fans, which we've addressed. It's not cool, but it's a reality. So coach is protecting Uduba as well. So because of that, Khama might have looked at this and said, wait a minute, if I look at that position, that's where Uzwan has played me as a number 9, and now you have Uduba, who's quite not ready to be a starter yet. You have Caleb, who's out of form, and you have Dupree, who can be used as a winger, which basically means I can still contribute to the team. And given the fact that Chiefs will be playing in the Champions League or a Confederations Cup, hopefully one of them, then you can see why the player might think that way, Uguti, listen, there's a chance for me to do this, so I will stay and I will fight hard and return and recover. And this is not the first time. We've seen it when medicals or doctors, whatever, say, the player is going to be out for 6 months or for however long. But then if a player works hard enough, sometimes they recover quicker than they think, and then they are back in the team. So it would be interesting really to see Ugut what's going to happen, because if it's a matter of Ugut Khama is coming back to be signed, it's something that is possible. I say this because if you're looking at a defensive midfield position, if Estelle and Bosch are not willing to sell us from Tetwa, then that means we have to look elsewhere for a defensive midfield. And if you look in the PSL-ish, you might not find him, because we know what the situation with Ochali. And there might be a situation where we end up looking abroad to sign someone else to be a defensive midfielder. And that means we're filling that foreign spot. And then again, the same foreign spot that we'll be looking to fill with a striker if we wanted to sign a striker. So then keeping Khama as a striker in the team kind of protects Chiefs from having to go out and buy a new player. I know people will talk about salary and other reasons why they think Khama shouldn't stay, or why you think Khama should stay. Let me know down on the comment section below. So guys, if you're enjoying the video, before we talk about Dupree, please do like it, because that helps me to reach more people like you. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to become a member of this channel, click on the link on the description or on the first comment of this video, and then you can become a member. You get early access to content, you get loyalty badges next to your name when you comment, and you get priority reply to your comments as well. So please do that. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed. Thank you so much for liking the video. Now let's go back to the video. Okay, so interesting one. I'm even smiling because Kaizer Chiefs media purposely asked he was asked Dupree this question about our comments Steve Barker. You remember Steve Barker was complaining about Chiefs which were getting favorable decisions and were always getting red cards, blah 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 blah. Now Dupree has responded to his comments, and I will say this: this is not something that is just as simple as him responding to a comment. I think there's also just that factor. Remember how Dupree, when he scored against Stellenbosch in our first game against them, he did this, which is a sign of respect that players usually do if they're playing against their old team. That's what they do. But in the second game, like now, when we were playing against them, when he scored that penalty, he celebrated, which made me go like, oh. And some people, I think it was Lamza, who said Dupree has accepted that he's playing for Chiefs and all that stuff. I think there's also the frustration yoguti maybe even people go Stellenbosch were talking nonsense about Chiefs. Maybe now he's like angry. He's like in that zone yoguti. I must fight for my team and I don't care who I've played for at this point because now I belong to this team. But these are his comments with regards to comments coach Steve Barker. He says that the players don't control the referee and the linesman. Dupree told the Kaizer Chiefs media department. The fact that they also just asked Dupree about this thing, it's funny because it's like they're saying, yeah, push back. Let's see what you're going to say to your former manager. And he says they make the decisions. We are just there to do our best. As if it's to say, we do our job and the linesmen do their job. When I get Steve Barker, go and do your own job because you are worrying yourself too much about something that you don't have control over instead of just focusing on coaching your own team. He didn't say that. I'm just saying it's interesting. Uguti, he didn't say something like, oh no, everyone is entitled to their opinions and maybe the coach was frustrated, because someone else could have come across like that way, Uguti, a bit diplomatic. But I think this is not like hit back in a bad way, but it's just saying the referees are doing their job, we are doing our job. So stop this nonsense of saying we are bribing the referees, because I said this in another video where I was really angry about this issue. Uguti, people seem to kuluma about Chiefs as if we are basically buying the referees. We are paying the referees to do the things that we want them to do. So basically, all referees, they're in our payroll. And all referees, they're doing their job. Like I think I saw another video on YouTube also, someone where there was a compilation of all these decisions at Chiefs, the penalties, the red cards that were given. You can clearly tell all of those yellow cards, all of those red cards were justified, and all of those penalties were all justified. But people will keep on mourning because Chiefs are getting decisions in their favor. When we don't get decisions in our favor, then it's just dismissed and then no one else talks about it. So I think Vele, what Dupree is doing now, we should Vele stop this thing maybe of being diplomatic too much, because teams are walking over us. Everyone is just talking nonsense about the Chiefs, even though they have their own problems in their own teams. So Abayegi Chiefs, and I'm glad to see our players are now just going to stand for their team, and because that makes them more associated with the team and not just be neutral with everyone. So okay guys, what do you think about Dupree's comments? Do you think they're just okay? He was just talking because it's not a big deal, but I'm just glad to see he said something about it. So guys, leave your comments, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. And until next time, remember, Khosi, I'll pay you more.